Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at the old pellet grill. You've seen me use this on the channel before. There was a grease fire. This is a friend of mine's, so you've seen me borrow this smoker before, and he was using it and it caught on fire, and so we're going to see what we can do with it. You can see what extensive damage. I started just to sand it a little bit to see if the sanding wheel was going to work. Looks like we might get by with it. But you can see the damage to the inside. So that's just a fire that can get out of hand. So we're going to try to sand it down, see what we can do. I am an absolute mess. I just washed my hands. I did do that because I'm about ready to eat. But this is quite the undertaking, I gotta tell you. But this can be fixed. This is like an $800 grill. And like I said, this is the one I borrow sometimes on the channel. Now, I wasn't here when it caught fire. But you know, that can happen to anybody. The guy that owns it just got a little bit away from him. But one weird thing about these is I told him that it had kind of a just runaway temperature. Even when I'd use it, sometimes I would have to like keep unplugging it because the temperature would just keep climbing. I'd have to unplug it, reset it. So, you know, something weird is going on with it. It's just one of them things you got to watch. That's what happens when you get computers involved. But anyway, so I've sanded the top down, you know, pretty decent, down the metal. I'm just trying to sand down basically the damaged parts. I'm gonna do a little sanding on the inside. I might not have to get as carried away on the inside, but I'll do what I can. It's hard to reach in there. Just gonna kind of vacuum it out and you know, just trying to make it look good. Once I coat it and season it, I think it's going to be fine. But yeah, we'll see how it turns out. Oh my, it's not gonna be perfect. I mean, so we got just some of the crap off of this, and I sprayed it down with some oil. So I got various parts laying out there. There's my chimney. Again, not gonna be perfect, but I still have to do the inside of the cover lid. Alright, that's my firebox door. But I did get the top sanded off. I got this damage here removed. And the inside again. Very hard to sand and whatnot in there. And again, I'm not expecting to get that sanded down to bare metal 100%. So, you know, I just did a little sanding on it and put some PAM on it to keep it from rusting any further. And I may go over that again, hit a couple spots, but I'm gonna see what it looks like tomorrow. It's starting to get dark on me. But I mean, hey, you do what you can do, right? It's gonna be a lot better than it was. So, at least it'll be usable. It'll be clean. Alright. Oh Lord, I know I'm a mess. It is really hot out here. I've been working on this smoker for, you know, a couple evenings now. But it looks a lot better, I'll say that. I think we salvaged this beautiful machine, and that makes me feel good. Let's have a look. So, as you can see, I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but you know, I sanded down at least the, you know, the burnt parts of the inside of this. It still had some of the like paint coating on it, and I wasn't just too keen on really trying to get that down to bare metal everywhere, because what paint I could leave on it will still add a layer of protection, and it's on the inside of the lid, but it looks a lot better. The inside, you know, like I said, this thing has not been this clean since, you know, it left the factory basically. But everything's working, the vents underneath. So, anyway, it's hard to see in there, but a lot cleaner. This thing will live to cook another day for sure. So, there's the top of it. It's hard for me to see anything here through this camera, but as you can see, I just sanded the top of that off. Also the chimney. The lid wasn't too bad, so I just did a little cleaning to it, put it back on. So there's the front, the face. Aside from that, it was just a little bit wiping this thing down. But I coated this, especially anything that was bare metal. I kind of use it to clean all over, but especially the bare metal, with PAM. So this has a liberal coating of PAM on it. So now I'm going to fire this machine up. I'm going to get it pretty hot, and it should start to smoke a little bit, and we'll get some, it's called polymerization. That's kind of where there's a chemical reaction with the oil that almost turns into a, for lack of a better description, like a polyurethane type coating. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to fire this thing up and get it hot. Okay, so I set this thing for about 425. The smoke point of canola oil is 4 to 450, in that range. And we're getting there. And you can kind of start telling because, you know, like the top where I sprayed with oil before, you know, was just really wet looking. And it's kind of starting to just kind of congeal, for lack of a better word. So it's starting to look more like almost like a polyurethane sheen on it. So you want to get it up to, again, about the smoke point of your oil. Canola oil is a good one to use. And then you want to cook for about an hour. Just let that really, again, polymerize, just kind of build a shield, for lack of a better description, on your smoker. So a lot of times this is what you do when you season a smoker for the first time, or cast iron skillet, but in this case we are protecting that bare metal so that it you know, doesn't rust, and so this thing can keep cooking for a long time. So I'm really glad we restored this, got this going again, because we're right in the dead of summer and these things aren't cheap. These KC combos are, you know, $700 smokers. So it should last a long time now, so I'm very pleased. Okay, so you can't see this, these digital things don't show up, but I've got this maxed out. It's running about 455 degrees. And again, the smoke point of canola oil is 400 degrees roughly. Got a little thermometer here. I know the internal temperature of this is above 400. This is the smoke coming out of the chimney here. So see, we're rocketing right up there. So I know the inside of this, I'll make sure not to touch the metal, so I'm just getting the smoke. So you can see there, we've hit it already. That's not touching any metal, that's just the air there. Alright, so I know the inside of that is sufficiently polymerized. Now the outside, and I've checked this a few times, it's not as hot, but I'm not too worried. Again, this is just touching the outside metal. I managed to get up to about 330, I think, in different spots. Yeah. So I was a little concerned, but not after seeing, you know, I don't know if you can see that, but the smoke is, or not the smoke, the oil is turning brown. You see this? See how it's turning brown there? Right, so it's starting to cook. So I think it's going to be close enough. So this should be okay. And again, this is going to be a covered smoker, so we should be fine. Alright, I'm just keeping it real with you guys. So if you got a small area and you just, again, this got up to about probably 330 degrees externally. 400 degrees is roughly the point at which polymerization happens with canola oil. That's the smoke point. So, secret weapon, if you got a small space, and just hit it with a little, there we go. So, I'm just roughly going to go over this thing. Alright. This way you can make sure that this oil is heated to 400 degrees at least. So I'm going to go over this whole thing, and again we'll have a nice polymer coating, and I think that'll finish this off. Alright, so I torched that down, and after that dries, that'll ensure that this isn't tacky, sticky, you know, kind of a sticky mess. It'll feel dry. Again, it'll just feel it'll feel coated. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is just our smoke ash, but it was a joy to fix this thing back, to get it going again. And I tell you, there'll be a lot more cooking done on this now. There's our grates down here, and again, see, everything works. So, I hope you guys liked this video. This was, like I said, a pleasure to do. When I get a chance to, you know, fix up a smoker that somebody was going to otherwise just throw away, that is something that I enjoy doing. I love smokers. And if you like the content, like, subscribe. And it is the 4th of July today. I'm going to go enjoy the festivities, but I'm hoping to cook a brisket soon. I promise a brisket is coming in the future. So thank you. Put sage on a barbecue. Have a good 4th, everybody.